Greetings and welcome to the first Pokemon 2023 or Pokemon Horizons the series speculation/theory video. In this video I want to talk about Liko's Pendant and Roy's ancient Pokeball. More specifically, I want to make several predictions about them, such as what their purpose could be, where did they come from, etc. So, let's get to it. Now to begin with, I want to go over what we currently know about each artifact as of episode 4. First, let's look at the pendant. It originally belonged to Liko's grandmother, and Liko got it from her. It is meant to be a protective charm, meaning that it will keep whoever wears it, currently Liko, safe. It does this by creating a force field. It seems to be a Pokemon that I am assuming is legendary. It's so powerful that a lot of people know about it, with the explorers actively looking to attain it. And finally, it has some sort of link to Roy's ancient Pokeball, since they both shined when they first got close to each other. Next, we have the ancient Pokeball. What we know about it is that it was found a long time ago by Roy's grandfather. It won't open. Because it won't open, it's likely that there is nothing inside of it, and as stated before, it has some sort of link with Liko's pendant. So that is what we currently know about each artifact. Now it's time to make some predictions on them based on said information and on a little something Roy said in episode 4. Both artifacts have something in common, apart from the fact that they are both mysterious artifacts without a clear purpose, of course. Said thing in common is that they both belonged to a grandparent of Liko and Roy, and they passed it down to their grandchild. In episode 4, Roy spoke about ancient adventurers that would, among other things, find treasures in places no one has been to before. I am willing to bet that Liko's grandmother and Roy's grandfather were ancient adventurers back when they were young, and the treasures they found were the pendant and the ancient Pokeball. It makes sense that such strange items would be found in places no one has been to before. Liko's grandmother and Roy's grandfather have likely retired, and so they decided to pass down their treasures to their grandchildren, likely to push them to venture out into the world, perhaps so that they can become like the ancient adventurers, which is what Roy wants to do, or so that they can figure out the true purpose behind the artifacts, since maybe they could not figure it out during their time as ancient adventurers. This would be extra relevant in Roy's case, since he and his grandfather have no idea what the ancient Pokeball is for, while the pendant has a more clear use. Or in Liko's case, maybe her grandmother just hoped that the pendant would do its job of protecting the one that wears it. She wanted to ensure that Liko would always be safe. So that's what I think is the origin of these two artifacts and why Liko and Roy ended up with them. Of course, at this point, there is no way of knowing who or what made these, or where were they found. Now it's time to talk about their purpose. The pendant's purpose is clearly that of protection. Though since it seems to be a Pokemon, perhaps the pendant is also meant to keep this Pokemon sealed, or to harness its power, since it's possible that it can do more than just put up a shield. As for the ancient Pokeball, well, Pokeballs really only have one purpose, right? Catching Pokemon. So that's what I think their purpose is. But this is just what you can discern at a glance. There is one detail that hints at what their purpose truly is, or at what else they can do or are meant for. This detail is that Roy said that ancient adventurers faced legendary Pokemon. Perhaps the Pokemon that is the pendant is indeed a legendary Pokemon, one that was defeated and subsequently sealed into a pendant by an ancient adventurer, aka Liko's grandmother, who hoped to either wield the power of the Pokemon or to study it further, or to restrain it, assuming that the Pokemon was dangerous, though it looks harmless enough. Perhaps its protection was meant to help Liko's grandmother face other more dangerous legendary Pokemon. A sort of special weapon or tool meant to aid in battle against specific foes. As for the ancient Pokeball, perhaps its purpose is to catch legendary Pokemon exclusively. Maybe it's meant for catching a specific legendary Pokemon, like say the shiny Rayquaza that seems to be able to terrastalize. This Rayquaza was seen a lot in promotional material for this series, suggesting that it will play a key role. Additionally, there might be a unique kind of ancient legendary Pokemon that could only be caught by this Pokeball. Also, Roy and his grandfather just assume that the Pokeball is empty. So who is to say that it is? Maybe there is a unique and powerful Pokemon inside of it, just waiting to be released, with said Pokemon likely being a legendary Pokemon, either a normal one or a special ancient one. Finally, since the pendant and the ancient Pokeball reacted to one another, meaning that they have some connection, perhaps the ancient Pokeball is meant to catch the Pokemon that is the pendant. This is of course assuming that they did not react to each other just because they are both artifacts with similar backgrounds. It's also possible that they are meant to work together. The pendant protects the user from a legendary Pokemon and the Pokeball catches said Pokemon. So the pendant is the shield and the Pokeball is the sword. They are both weapons/tools used by the ancient adventurers to deal with powerful legendary Pokemon. But yeah, that's everything I have for you in this video. Since this was all speculation on my part, based on what little information we currently have, please do take everything I said with a grain of salt. Hopefully, some of these theories will be proven right or wrong in the near future, since I am quite eager to find the answers to the mysteries surrounding these two artifacts. Please let me know your own theories in the comment section down below. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.